Say that, there is actually a VAR check going on for potentially a red card I saw, though it's not going to be given because Sarr was in an offside position. See, this confuses me, I'll tell you why. Because Sarr is in an offside position when the ball is played from Sissoko to him. They're checking VAR on this challenge from Zinchenko, which I'm not looking at now as a red card. It's high, he's caught with the studs, soft contact, and they'll wait to see what their verdict is on that. But I don't think they're actually going to send him off if they deem it to be a red card because Sarr was in an offside position. But if the challenge is poor enough and the challenge is dangerous enough, surely it should be a red card anyway. Well, we'll wait and see what the VAR verdict is. I think Zinchenko, who initially I said got away with a yellow card, has now got away with any potential red card from a VAR check. Saw that Sarr was offside and they decided to not really have much of a further look at it. It's interesting. I wonder what this man on my picture currently, Roy Hodgson, will think of that. He's looking to become the first manager to win with 3 different clubs at the Etihad Stadium. He won here with Palace, fantastic 3-2 victory. That was late 2018, I believe, December 2018. A couple of wins with Fulham as well. It was a fantastic 4-3 win for Fulham. And then we do it with Watford. Just as much of a shock if he is to, because we are back underway at the Etihad. And free kick, which did go the way of Watford, has actually been overturned because Sarr was offside because there was a VAR check on it, even though it was on the edge of the penalty area. So it confuses me. It's another one of those VAR calls I'm not too sure about. I don't think it would have been a red card. It would have been very harsh. But I think they weren't considering it if Sarr wasn't in an offside position. It confuses me. I don't understand it. The challenge is dangerous enough. If it's a red card challenge, it shouldn't matter if the player's offside. Danger the player. But Watford will have to continue. Manchester City will happily continue with 11 men, and they are back on the ball as we expect them to be on for a lot of this afternoon. Down the right-hand side of João Cancelo, which is an early ball into the penalty area. It's going to reach the back post for the man who could have had a red card, Zinchenko, who volleys it back across the face of goal, and it's touched in at the back post by Gabriel Jesus. He was free in the penalty area, and all he had to do was tap it in, side-foot it in to the empty Watford net, as Ben Foster was scrambling across, but couldn't get there in time. And after 3.5 minutes at the Etihad Stadium, it's Manchester City 1, Watford 0, and it's just the start that Watford dreaded, and it's just the start that Manchester City wanted, particularly after being held for 54 minutes in the week against Brighton. It started off with a superb switch up towards João Cancelo. His initial ball into the penalty area was dangerous as he reached Zinchenko down that left-hand side. It was a wicked, fast ball across the face of goal, and the back post was Gabriel Jesus to tap it in.
That's why they're in this situation they are.
Edge of the 6-yard box, totally unmarked, easy opportunity for Gabriel Jesus to score his 8th of the season and give Manchester City the early lead. And just before we went to the racing, we were joking about the last time they were here. Watford were 5 down after 18 minutes. It's the worst possible start that they could have made for Watford as they win the ball back. Now there was a foul there on King on Jack Grealish, and that was a free kick.
That's how they're going to break Watford down, is by switches of play, quick switches of play from left to right, and it's difficult for then Watford to shuffle over the other side of the pitch. You can see him doing it now. They come down one side and go down the other side really quick.
Bradford City lead Scunthorpe United, already relegated from League 2 by a goal to 0. That's at Valley Parade. Laporte out towards Zinchenko. Zinchenko high up the pitch on that left-hand side, in towards Sterling, and Watford concede the corner kick. We welcome listeners to the BBC World Service, where already Manchester City are leading by a goal to 0. Gabriel Jesus, after 4 minutes, giving the champions the lead here at the Etihad, and a try at Harlequins. Eleanor Roper.
Yeah, packed out stoop in the sunshine, and Harlequins off to a dream start here. Is that exciting, fast-paced flair that they were playing with last season that won them the Premiership? Will Collier going over after a great break from Alex Donbrand, converted by Marcus Smith. Harlequins leading here, it's 7 points to 0.
Out for a goal kick, nothing materialising from that corner kick. Must be so disappointing from a Watford point of view.
Yeah, especially when you come in, you want to keep it tight, especially for the first 20 minutes, but to concede so early on. Roy Hodgson will be thinking, what has he got to do? He just wants his players to mark in the box. Gabriel Jesus is free, and no one around him within, I'd say, 4 yards of him. Side foot into the back of the net. A striker's dream, to be honest with you.
Slip from Ben Foster as he takes the goal kick, headed forward by Fernandinho. Jesus trying to get round the back of Camara, who shows his strength to win that and plays it forward, but it will go all the way through to Edison, and then it's thrown out and to Cancelo on this near side. Cancelo infield, Ruben Dias, opportunity for him to get some match time after his recent injury and that enforced spell on the sidelines, and get the game put to bed. And then again, Pep Guardiola able to make changes with Real Madrid in mind on Tuesday.
Yeah, we're making them 6 changes. I thought Sterling might have got rested today because he was so important in the Champions League, but whatever players the player, the strength and depth at Man City is phenomenal, to be honest with you. They've got players who can come in and it makes it seamless.
Zinchenko in the sunshine, forward to Grealish, coming in now off that left touch line. Socks slipping down the shins in a trademark Grealish fashion. Out to Cancelo on the right-hand side, back towards De Bruyne. De Bruyne's forward ball. Fernandinho turns and swivels with a cross caught by Ben Foster, but 1-0 to Manchester City already. 5 Live and BBC Sounds.
Going back to Grealish there, Ian, when you're looking, do you know why he has his socks down like that? Because he can't get them over his calves. It's because of the size of his calves. That's what it is. That's serious, that, you know. Serious.
Well, that is funny you should say that, because that brings me very kindly on to Tony Livesey's Facts of the Day, because Tony Livesey on Drive says yesterday that the way to get into the head of Jack Grealish, you have to be complimentary to him. So John McGinn tipped off Stephen O'Donnell last June when England met Scotland at the Euros, and O'Donnell said to Jack, "I love your calves." He also brought him down 4 times in 24 minutes and was eventually shown a yellow card. So he actually tried both ways to get at Jack Grealish.
I bet he left his studs down his calves as well.
There's been a goal. It's Oldham, Alistair Yeomans.
It's gone to Salford against Oldham. Matt Smith, who scored his first ever league goal in 2011 for Oldham, has followed up to score to put Oldham in more trouble. Oldham 0, Salford 1.
That is not good news for Oldham. They could be relegated today. Elsewhere, Portsmouth lead Gillingham by a goal to 0, and Bradford City have got a second goal at home to already relegated Scunthorpe. But Oldham would be down if they were to lose, and both Barrow and Stevenage were to win. Corner kick to Manchester City. Leading already by a goal to 0. De Bruyne on this near side, the right to take it. Will go to Norwich after this corner kick. Watford have everybody back. De Bruyne has the short option. He does have a splendid set of cards, I've got to admit, though. Jack Grealish down below in front of us as in it comes now, the outswinger headed up by King and Manchester City. On this near side, the right once again. That corner flag taking a real buffeting in the strong wind. They take it short this time. Grealish then back to Zinchenko, back to De Bruyne, down the line, coming across, and Watford should deal with this. So to Carrow Road, Will Perry.
Sturridge 0, Newcastle 0, but chance for both sides. The first one, a beautiful ball from Bruno Guimaraes over to the right-hand side. There was Jacob Murphy in the box, side foot volley just wide, and down the other end, Kieran Dow volleying over the bar of the Norwich goalkeeper. It's 0-0.
1-0 to Manchester City. How's it started at Villa Park, Pat Murphy?
Yes, but Villa should be ahead. An optimistic punt from Mings, misjudged by Fofana. Brilliant work by Watkins down the left-hand channel. Pulled it back to Bailey on his favoured left foot, but leaning back 15 yards out over the bar. Should have scored. Leicester 0, Villa 1. Villa 0.
Throw to Watford deep inside their own half, over on the far side, up towards Sissoko. Sissoko able to turn, but Manchester City pressing hard, and Watford have just conceded another corner under pressure, Jonathan.
It's a pressure from Man City. I mean, if you look at the formation of the team, they just get bodies around. When Watford have the ball, they really press. Everyone presses over to the far side of the pitch and really condenses the area. Any team, no matter who you are, find it difficult to play through when you're pressing right.
Kevin De Bruyne far side the left to take the corner kick. In it comes now. It's an in-swinger. It's headed up rather than away by the Watford defence. Comes out to Jesus. Half a challenge by Cleverley to Cancelo. Backpedaling to give himself a little bit more room on this right-hand side. And he's actually lost the ball. Now there's a break on. And Dennison sent away. And Watford here now on the counter-attack. And Dennis goes down on the edge of the area. And Watford had a real opportunity there to cause problems, and they failed to take it. hesitation, and it was squandered.
That's when you have to take your chances against Man City, and chances like that will not come about often in this game. Emmanuel Dennis through on goal. Even if he looks to his left-hand side, he's got Sissoko, takes his time. Zinchenko gets back and makes a fantastic tackle, but Emmanuel Dennis has to do better in that situation for Watford.
Now they need to get back as well, because Manchester City are coming forward on the left-hand side. The bottom two in the Scottish Premiership are meeting, by the way, at Dens Park. Dundee lead St Johnstone by a 0-0. Dundee, who are bottom. Derby 0, Bristol City 1 is the latest score in the Championship. As Edison is quickly out of his penalty area and out downfield it goes. Manchester City lead by a 0-0 in Scotland earlier, by the way. Motherwell 1, Rangers 3. So Rangers within 3 points now of the leaders Celtic. Another try at Harlequins. Eleanor.
Yeah, what a start here. Leicester straight back over. It was Nemani Nadolo with the try for the Tigers. 7 points apiece. We've then just seen another try from Marcus Smith for Harlequins. Waiting for him to take the pick, although it does look like that's being reviewed. 7-0, yeah, that try's been disallowed. So 7 points all here between Harlequins and Leicester.
Grealish to Cancelo on the right-hand side. Camera sliding in, wins the duel. Goal in League One at Rotherham, Chris Coles.
To Oxford United, Rotherham 0, Oxford United 1. Dan Barlaser own goal. Really good ball in from Sam Long on the right-hand side. Flashed it across. Had Barlaser not turned it in, then Matty Taylor may well have done just behind him. Great start for the visitors. They need a win to ensure their playoff push goes to the final day, and they're doing so. Rotherham 0, Oxford United 1.
Cross comes in from the left-hand side. That was claimed by Ben Foster. And Watford at the moment are just holding off Manchester City. Cambridge are down to 10 men. They're away at Sunderland. Sunderland 0, Cambridge 0. But Cambridge have had Lloyd Jones sent off. Rotherham United, who losing there at home to Oxford. MK Dons are at home to Morecambe. They are level, but Rotherham too will still have a game in hand on MK Dons. Manchester City with Zinchenko over on the far side. What have you made of the start, Jonathan? 13, 14 minutes played.
When Watford are in transition, that's when they really need to go for the jugular, because they can be aggressive and they can get in behind City. With the pace that they have, Man City are pushing right up the pitch and they leave a lot of space. Edison's starting position for Man City is really important, and he swept one brilliant there. When the ball went through, he was quick off the line. And if you look at Man City and Liverpool, it's how they play. With the keeper, like sweeper keepers, and they do a fantastic job.
That's Jonathan Woodgate, the former England international, who's with us here with the World Service and 5 Live from the BBC at the Etihad, where Manchester City are leading by a 0-0. Ball played back by Cancelo to Fernandinho, slides it into the penalty area. The little layoff by Jesus, and the shot from Cancelo fired back in then by Jesus on the right-hand side. But Foster was equal to it. Very good save, but lovely interchange from City.
The patterns of play, and they know what they're on exactly the same page when you look at the Man City players. The movement of each player, the pass, the follow, the look for 1-2s. Incredible team.
Sterling trying to get the low cross in. It goes out behind for a corner kick. Sunderland now are leading against the 10 men of Cambridge United by a 0-0 in League One. Sunderland 1, Cambridge United 0. Cambridge have won their last 3 actually away from home, but that sending off of Lloyd Jones so early on, denial of a goal-scoring opportunity, could be crucial. Nothing really materialises from that corner kick. Where will we go next then on BBC Radio 5 Live? Zinchenko back to Edison, and then Edison plays it to Diaz on this near side. Thought we were going to try and get another report elsewhere. As here is Rodri coming forward for the sky blue shirts of Manchester City to Zinchenko, pops it forward towards De Bruyne, coming in off the left touch line, and then he strokes it back. I mean, you said actually we walked to the ground together that it was always going to be a training exercise, and certainly that's the way it's proving to be, an attack against defence.
It is, but Watford is still quite dangerous on the counter-attack, and in transition they're quick. But it just amazes me when you're watching Man City, the rotation of the players, the Cancelo, Fernandinho dropping out to false fullback, to De Bruyne playing as a false 9. It's incredible, so well coached.
Let's go to the Warrington in the Rugby League. Dave Woods.
16 minutes played here, Deno. Warrington 4, Huddersfield 0. Josh Pulis going in from dummy half. Matty Ashton being pulled out just short of the line. Pulis as sharp as you like, picking up and diving over. Riley Dean hit the post for the touchline with a conversion attempt. Warrington 4, Huddersfield 0.
Watford will go all the way back. Samir to Foster. Watford trailing by a goal to nil in the relegation zone. Only 5 games left for Watford after today. Roy Hodgson has produced some miraculous results in the past, whether it be at the start of the season for Crystal Palace and at the end of a campaign for Fulham, although that was 14 years ago. But it's very, very hard to see Watford getting out of the mire that they currently find themselves in, as Manchester City with Zinchenko coming inside, then playing the ball forward on the left towards De Bruyne. The ball now spread out to Cancelo, enters the penalty area, volleys it high onto the chest for Sterling. Thought he was setting himself up for the acrobatics there. Still hasn't been dealt with. Grealish tees it back. Rodri at a walking pace out towards De Bruyne. Manchester City piling on the pressure, and in the end the challenge from Samir, and the ball goes out of play over towards that far side, but it's picked up by Grealish for Manchester City. Roy Hodgson and Ray Lewington already out in their technical area, but it's just wave after wave of pressure, and it's behind for another corner. And quickly, another try at Harlequins, Eleanor Roper.
Yeah, Caden Murley going over with Quins this time. Marcus Smith missing the kick. The score here is still 12-7.
Corner kick then to Manchester City. De Bruyne to take it. Watford have every green shirt back over on the far side. In it comes now. It's high. It's delivered deep. Laporte goes down. A little bit of a tumble in the penalty area, and it runs out of play for a goal kick.
No foul, tangle of legs. No foul, but Roy Hodgson, Ray Lewington, difficult. You're playing against a world-class team. You've got to be hard to beat, but then you've got to stop the flow, and you've got to do something in the game where you stop the flow and you become more organised. They're starting to do that now. But like I say, it's difficult to play against a Man City team, even with 6 changes.
You might remember 14 years ago when Fulham won 4 out of their final 5 games to survive on goal difference. One of them was actually here against Manchester City. They were 2-0 down with 20 minutes to play. They ended up winning by 3 goals to 2, and that certainly set them up for a very exciting finale. Harrogate are leading Carlisle United by a goal to 0 in League 2. You're up to date with the goals as they go in on BBC Radio 5 Live and the World Service. 19 minutes played. Camera forward on this near side, and in the forest green, I think I would go with the shade of green for Watford's away jerseys, all in green. Dennis skips away from one challenge, comes inside the other. He's done well, Dennis, with a little cutback, and required on the near side of the 6-yard box for Ruben Diaz to get the ball away. It was a promising moment from Emmanuel Dennis as Ngakia, one of the 3 changes made by Roy Hodgson, tries to come forward on the right-hand side, loses the ball, and Grealish now picks it up, and the challenge from Sissoko, the referee, who is Kevin Friend, doesn't give the first free kick, but he gives the second.
I played the advantage, but then Fernandinho got taken down, so he blew. But when you go back to Emmanuel Dennis, he's had a very good season for Watford, their top goal scorer. Signed this season and done a sterling job, to be honest with you.
Not looking good for Watford, already by a goal down here to Manchester City. Norwich City, if they're to perform a late escape, they would need 3 points today against an informed Newcastle. Will Perry.
Well, it's been a huge chance for Norwich. Lise Malou bursting through on the counter-attack, played in Temu Pukki. He was one-on-one with Dubravka, rounded the keeper, played it back to Kieran Dow, edge of the 6-yard box, turned over the bar, 0-0.
Laporte just outside the centre circle, floats towards to Cancelo, heads it forward, little flick on by Jesus, cleared by Cabaselli on the edge of the penalty area, bouncing ball, rides up the chest for King, little flick out to Loser, now towards Dennis. That duffel jacket of Pep Guardiola is getting a good ruffling in the wind as well. It's very, very strong pitch side as Cancelo, the sky blue shirts are rippling in the breeze as well. And Jesus was caught and he's gone down. And camera just checking to make sure that the Manchester City player, who's got City the lead here at the Etihad, is okay. Checking on his welfare. 1-0. Game is already back underway. But it's a crowd here at the Etihad where there isn't a great deal of atmosphere. They might be saving themselves for Tuesday. One of those occasions where Just expecting probably the 3 points and a number of goals.
I think it's always quiet when we come here, Deno, to be honest with you. I think it's never always been a great atmosphere at the City ground, if I'm honest with you. Sure, Tuesday night should be a different ball game, playing against an incredible team in Real Madrid, some superstars. That should be a lot different.
Sterling with a cross, too deep, too close to the goalkeeper, Foster. Leyton Orient 0, Northampton 1 is the latest score. And MK Dons are leading at home to Morecambe by a goal to 0, and that would actually take them above Rotherham, who are losing at home to Oxford for that automatic promotion spot behind the leaders Wigan, who are at home to Plymouth. Tom Gale.
Wigan 0, Plymouth 0. Ian, victory for the hosts would see them promoted. They should be ahead. A double save from visiting keeper Michael Cooper. Then 24-goal man Will Keane shot over from 6 yards. Wigan 0, Plymouth 0.
Still no goals at Leicester City, Aston Villa, or indeed Norwich, Newcastle, Brentford, Tottenham to come. Arsenal earlier beat Manchester United by 3 goals to 1. Luton Town 1, Blackpool 1 is how it finished in the early game in the Championship. Barnsley, of course, last night were relegated as Sterling, got a good scoring record against Watford, loses out to a sliding Cleverly. The ball then played by Fernandinho to Cancelo. Kevin De Bruyne near side the right with a very good ball in on a plate, and at the far post Jesus with a header. It was a super cross from Kevin De Bruyne. Gabriel Jesus has made it 2. Manchester City increased their lead, but what a delivery from De Bruyne.
I don't know how he's supposed to stop or defend them balls that Kevin De Bruyne puts in the box. It's like it's a wonder of a right foot, and he puts it straight to Jesus, who peels off his marker, but it's the ball in, it's the pace of the ball in, it's the area that the ball's put in. You can look at your fullback and say you've got to get round, but sometimes the ball in was tremendous. Fullback needs to do better, but Jesus in the right place at the right time, but what a ball.
He's never scored a Premier League hat-trick for Manchester City. He must be thinking, today is the day when I've scored 2 goals inside 24 minutes.
If he stays on for the full 90 minutes, that is, maybe he could get booked at about 65 or 70.
Brilliant though from Kevin De Bruyne. He's been involved now in 14 goals in his last 16 Premier League appearances, De Bruyne. Whether it be scoring or assisting, just terrific. But that was a sumptuous cross.
Sublime, isn't it? It's difficult to find words, to be honest with you, to describe the cross he's just put into the box, but he does it week in, week out, Deno. He puts the ball into areas which are difficult to defend.
Corner kick for Watford, 2-0 down. There's some ironic cheers from the travelling support. Loser to take it, headed out by Kevin De Bruyne. Now there is a scenario today where Wimbledon could be relegated from League One. They're at Fleetwood. There's been a goal. Andy Sixsmith.
And they're not being relegated as it stands in Fleetwood 0, Wimbledon 1. Lovely finish from Luke McCormack with the results elsewhere, and Wimbledon winning. They're staying in League 2 as it stands, 1-0 up.
Fleetwood, of course, themselves in trouble. Just 1 win in 18 as Watford concede a throw, but Raheem Sterling being applauded for his work rate, for chasing a ball from the left all the way towards the right and winning the free kick.
And that's a top player doing it, and his strength as well to hold the full-back off, really strong. Okay, he's small in size, but he's got a big hat in, and he's difficult to play against, and really strong, and won the free kick for Man City.
So it's a free kick for Manchester City, 10 yards in from the right touchline. De Bruyne with the right foot, Zinchenko with the left. Jesus is desperate to get round the back. It is played in by De Bruyne. It's headed away by the Watford defence. Headed back by Jesus. Headed further away by Samir. And Manchester City will go back. We'll get another update in the Rugby League at Warrington. Dave Woods.
It's now Warrington 10, Huddersfield 0. Ian Warrington with the second try. Josh Thewlis with his second try after the ball was swept left. And interestingly, Jack Cogger has just been singed in for a second time for a foul in the act of Warrington scoring. So he'll spend the first 20 minutes of this match on the sidelines. Warrington 10, Huddersfield 0.
Stevenage are leading at home to Tranmere by a goal to 0. Now Oldham are a goal down at home to Salford City. They will be down if they lose and both Barrow and Stevenage win, and Stevenage are ahead at Broadhall Way against Tranmere Rovers, which isn't good for Tranmere, who've fallen away from the promotion picture of late. So 1-0 to Stevenage down there in League Two, and Gakia has his clearance charged down. You're up to date with the goals as they go in on BBC Radio 5 Live, keeping you abreast of what's happening in the Football League at the business end of the season. As the ball is going to be played back by Laporte, and it's cleared away by Edison, the Manchester City goalkeeper. Headed forward, Loser picks it up in the Manchester City half, gets away from not one challenge but two, held up there by Zinchenko. He's done well, Loser. He's done very well to keep possession for Watford, but they go all the way back towards the halfway line as they trail 2-0. So to Leicester City, Aston Villa, Pat Murphy.
It's 0-0, but Villa, apart from that chance that Bailey put over the bar, have been non-existent really. They're sloppy in possession. Twice the keeper Martinez has been embarrassed by passes back from his central defenders. Dewsbury Hall confident on the left wing for Leicester. Leicester all making all the running here, but it's 0-0.
Camera has just got a goal back for Watford. Ball lifted in from the left-hand side, made the run in the penalty area. Nobody went with him. And Camera has scored his first goal for Watford to reduce the arrears. It's Manchester City 2, Watford 1.
It was a great finish, to be honest with you. He gets into that area. I think it was Cancelo who didn't follow his run or not. It looks like he's run off the back of Fernandinho. And a great finish into the far left-hand corner past Edison. They look really dangerous though when they do break Watford. On the counter-attack, they have got that pace in the team to hurt Man City.
What was it? We were telling that story about Roy Hodgson's side when they were 2-0 down with Fulham coming back to win. But Guardiola was livid. He was apoplectic in that technical area down below because nobody, as you say, had picked up the run of Camera.
I think they were finding it a bit too easy, Man City, and they took the foot off the gas, but no one followed the run. That was the thing from Kamara. No one followed the run. That's what he'll be fuming about. A bottle of water went against the floor.
Here is to Rodri, back with Laporte to Diaz. Guardiola is out once again. His arm, the palms of his hands, fingers are really open, stretched. His arms are out open. Say, what's going on? Manchester City will not certainly want to take their eye off the ball. As Sterling plays it out to Cancelo. Camera with the interception. Down the line now it goes towards Dennis. They'd already had that one promising break earlier on that Dennis was unable to take advantage of. He was caught by De Bruyne, and it's going to be a free kick to Watford on the halfway line. And we've now got Pep Guardiola stewing in his technical area, brooding.
Tasting around that technical area like a caged lion, to be honest with you. He doesn't look happy in the slightest. But it is an area, when you look at the Man City team, when Cancelo plays, don't get me wrong, he's outstanding going forward, an outstanding talent, but sometimes you can just get in behind him. And if the centre-half isn't over enough, it's a place you can exploit.
Watford battling for a loose ball on the edge of the area, cleverly loses out, cleared away by Cancelo. Mansfield lead Crawley by a goal to 0 in League Two. Harrogate have got a second goal at home to Carlisle, also in League Two, and you're up to date with the goals as they go in. As Grealish loses out to Ngakia, prods the ball back to Foster, first time clearance on the edge of the area. It's high, it's downfield, it's headed away by Zinchenko and kept in play by Rodri, but Grealish is coming back in the sunshine from an offside position, so he can't chase after the ball. Instead he leaves it for Sterling, and Sterling once again, fighting for a lost cause, wins a throw.
The work rate from Sterling there. Any young kids who were playing tomorrow, maybe on Hackney Marshes or up in the Teesside Junior Alliance League up in Middlesbrough, that is what you want to do if you're a winger. Work as hard as you can, and maybe later on you get a bit of luck to get a tap in. But it's brilliant to see a player Raheem Sterling's calibre working as hard as that constantly in the game for his team.
Yeah, for all that we laud Manchester City's excellent brand of football, the one thing that they possess, and Liverpool when setting those high standards, is the extremely high work ethic from both sets of players. Manchester City, though, leading by 2 goals to 1. Jesus with both goals, lays it off to Fernandinho, back towards Grealish. De Bruyne plays it out towards the left-hand side. Zinchenko will keep it alive. He sends over the cross, it's very, very deep, and it's headed behind by Samir to Bournemouth, Aaron Paul.
Bournemouth 0, Fulham 0. This one has been tasty, meaty challenges aplenty. Harry Wilson has had the game's best effort. He curled a shot in and forced an excellent save out of Mark Travers in the Cherries' goal. Bournemouth 0, Fulham 0.
Sunderland 2, Cambridge United 0. They've got another goal against the 10 men of Cambridge as they look to playoff positions in League One for Alex Neil's side. Kevin De Bruyne, corner kick, near side the right. City leading 2-1. De Bruyne waiting, right-footed. In it comes now, comes out to the edge of the area to Jesus on a hat-trick, of course. Right-footed, couldn't keep it down from the edge of the area. That scoreline at the moment, Sunderland actually occupying 6th place with Rotherham, Sheffield Wednesday, Plymouth, the other playoff berths, because MK Dons, as it stands, have gone above Rotherham as they are leading Morecambe, and Rotherham are losing at home to Oxford United, who are putting pressure on Sunderland for the playoff positions. All very, very tight in League One. Here in the Premier League, it's 2-1 to Manchester City. They've been awarded a free kick inside their own half. Back to Carrow Road, Will Perry.
Norwich 0, Newcastle 0, but another massive chance in this game. Corner from the left-hand side, taken by Murphy. Dan Burn, all 6'7" of him, came near post. A header glanced across the face of goal, just wide of the right upright. 0-0.
Cambridge have just got a goal back, actually, at the Stadium of Light. Sunderland 2, Cambridge 1 in League One. 2-1. Zinchenko didn't keep the ball in play. It will be a Watford throw. And it's on that far side, the right for Roy Hodgson's team.
Like you said earlier, Dan, about the goal difference. Yeah, the goal difference, that's what people be going crazy about. They're going a little bit sloppy and they want to try and improve the goal difference and in game, close the gap on Liverpool in terms of goal difference.
Penalty at Boundary Park. Alistair Yeomans.
To Oldham. Davis, Keller, Dunn, who earned the penalty. Handball given, lots of complaints from Salford City, but could this be a lifeline for Oldham? Second bottom of League Two. It is in via the keeper. He just about did it, Keller Dunn, but hope springs eternal for Oldham. It's Oldham 1, Salford 1.
Rodri with a shot. What a goal from Rodri. Drops on the edge of the area and he hit it right-footed to give Foster no chance. It's a special goal from Manchester City to restore their 2-goal advantage. They lead Watford by 3-1. That was a special strike.
Incredible shot by Rodri, edge of the box, dip-in volley, textbook. What a fantastic goal. Obviously not renowned for his goal-scoring attributes, but the most concerning thing for me there was Kevin De Bruyne down. He looked hurt with a knee injury. I hope he's okay, especially with it coming up to this Champions League semi-final. Don't like to see any player injured. I just hope De Bruyne is okay. Just give the thumbs up there to Pep Guardiola, and he seems okay.
Well, the ball was played back, brought down off the chest, and then only one thing on his mind, and he lashed the ball past Foster.
It's pure textbook, Deno. It's an absolute outstanding goal. Foster absolutely no chance. Pep Guardiola will be a lot more chilled now after that.
Well, they've just seen it again on the big screen. It had the U factor. And then there was also a smattering of applause as well when the City supporters in front of us have had a chance to see it again. So Manchester City lead by 3-1. De Bruyne is running freely, which is also good news for the home side. And a goal at Carrow Road. Will Perry.
Norwich 0, Newcastle 1. It's Joel Linton on his 100th Premier League appearance. Comes out to him on the left-hand side, playing up top today. Rifles it into the top right corner, celebrating in front of the Newcastle fans. He's a cult hero on Tyneside. Norwich 0, Newcastle 1.
Portsmouth 1, Gillingham 1 is the latest score in League One at Fratton Park. Leyton Orient 0, Northampton Town 2 is the latest score. Free kick to Watford, 10 yards inside the Manchester City half. Quite a high line from the Manchester City back line. In it goes now, headed away by Zinchenko, and Raheem Sterling will bring the ball away. Raheem Sterling playing very, very well against his former England manager, and he slows down. But once more, Guardiola making a point of applauding with his hands above his head for what Raheem Sterling is doing for the team.
He realises the work that he does off the ball is fundamental to how this team wants to play. And he hasn't played every single game this season, Raheem Sterling, but In the big games he seems to play, seems to be the man. In the Champions League he's played 10 games this season, and I'm sure he'll play against Real Madrid on Tuesday night.
Accrington lead Lincoln City by a goal to nil in League One. Jesus winning the ball from Samir, cuts into the penalty area, pulls it back low, and there was Sterling. 8 yards out, right-footed, couldn't keep it down. It would have been another fine goal from the home side, but Sterling unable to get on the score sheet on this occasion.
It'd have been fitting if he rattled the back of the net, because his performance in this first half has been very good. He set the tone for City. Jesus does so well to pull the ball back, and if you look at a lot of the Man City goals, a lot of the goals are pullbacks across the face of the goal, pull back, and normally they stick them chances away.
Goal at Exeter City, Hamish Marshall.
Exeter City doing what they need to do if they are going to go up today. They lead Rochdale by a goal to nil. Free kick from the right-hand side. Tim Dieng slipped it over the line from 6 yards out. His 14th of the season. Exeter 1, Rochdale 0.
They won't be getting promoted today, though, because one of the permutations is that they needed to win, but also they needed Northampton, Bristol Rovers and Sutton to lose, and Mansfield failing to win. Well, Northampton already 2-0 up at Leyton Orient, but at least it's another step in the right direction for second place Exeter in League Two. And Bradford City are now leading Scunthorpe 2-1. Scunthorpe have got a goal back. Doncaster Rovers, however, in League One are leading Burton by a goal to nil. Doncaster Rovers, who are fighting against relegation from League One, they're 1-0 up at the Keep Road. Manchester City leading Watford 3-1. Scratch to the head from Ray Lewington as he watches on in the technical area. And now it's with Laporte inside the centre circle. It was a goal to have many a City supporter purring from that Rodri effort after 34 minutes, but they've lost the ball. Certainly seeing a lot of chances. Sissoko now with the cross. Dennis stretching down towards the corner flag on this near side. Dennis waits. Cancelo motions that he's going to attack him, doesn't. Ball goes back to Cleverley. Now with Samir. Every outfield player is in the Manchester City half away towards our left-hand side as they lead by 3 goals to 1. The Merseyside derby is on 5 Live tomorrow. Watford still coming forward and then scooped away by Laporte for Manchester City. Back to Harlequins, Eleanor Roper.
Leicester Tigers have just missed the chance to pull ahead here at the Stoop. That's despite a fast start. The game has slowed slightly for Harlequins. Number 6, Hanro Liebenberg over for Tigers. The kick missed by George Ford. 12 all the score here with 10 minutes left in the half.
Sunderland 3, Cambridge 1 is a latest score in League One. Let's go racing. It's the Gold Cup. It's at Sandown. Darren Owen.
And they've got 3 fences to jump, and Lily Bradstock has had a fabulous ride aboard Step Back, who won this race back in 2018, has made all the running to this point, but the cavalry are closing as they head towards the 3rd last fence, the pond fence, and Hewick is coming with a big run. Kitty's Light, who went off favourites, just in behind them. Last year's demoted winner Enrillo is well there. Musical Slave is hunting up the pace setters as they turn into the straight now, and they've got to step back, and it's Hewick who has hit the front from Kitty's Light and Musical Slave. They jump the 2nd last fence on the run down to the last. Oh, and Win My Wings has fallen at the 2nd last fence, and Hewick has gone clear. It is Hewick coming to the final fence with about a 6-length cushion on this field and flies over the last. Kitty's Light, Musical Slave, they're 2nd and 3rd respectively. Step Back is further back as they go to the finish, and as we've seen previously this season, another big prize will go to an Irish stable. Hewick is the winner. 2nd place goes to Musical Slave, then Kitty's Light, who's followed home by Step Back. So number 3, Hewick, has won the Bet365 Gold Cup. 2nd was number 14, Musical Slave, and 3rd, number 4, Kitty's Light.
Reaction, I'm sure, to come from Sandown in Sports Report at 5 o'clock with Mark Chapman. Derby County 0, Bristol City 2 is the latest score in the Championship. Here at the Etihad with 4.5 minutes to go, it's Manchester City who lead Watford by 3 goals to 1. The last time we were at Carrow Road, it was Norwich 0, Newcastle 1. Another goal, Will Perry.
Norwich 0, Newcastle 2. Jacob Murphy bursting forward. Grant Hanley gets back, tries to get a challenge in, but it falls to Joel Linton, left side of the box, for the easiest of goals. A tap in. Joel Linton on a hat-trick. Norwich 0, Newcastle 2.
Leighton Orient 0, Northampton Town 3 is a latest score in League 2. There's been a goal at Hull City. Katie Smith.
Yeah, it's Hull City 1, Reading 0. We needed a goal to wake up this first half. It has been dire, but Hull won the ball 25 yards out. Keane Lewis Potter surging down the left-hand side, high into the back of the net. It's Hull City 1, Reading 0.
Peterborough United need to win. It's a must-win game. Time is desperately running out for Peterborough. They're at home to Nottingham Forest. It remains 0-0. Barnsley and Derby, of course, have already filled 2 of those relegation berths from the Championship. As Sterling coming forward, left side of the penalty area to Rodri, edge of the area, turns. Fernandinho before Diaz floats it forward, and Cancelo making a darting run into the right-hand side of the penalty area, unable to keep the ball in play, out for a goal kick, but once again some fine football from Manchester City.
The run from Cancelo, the movement off the ball from Jesus, running inside. Cancelo gives the width. Fernandinho's a little bit more off it, and it'll have been a fantastic pass. But when you look at Man City, and okay, when Watford have the ball, City get behind the ball. They get all the men behind the ball, they stay compact, and then the press from their shape. Really work so hard, each player for the team, and well drilled in and out of possession, not just with the ball, without as well.
124 goals they've scored in all competitions this season. Manchester City, you wouldn't rule them out, adding a few more to that tally here today. Hartlepool United 0, Swindon Town 1 is the latest score in League 2. And at Pittodrie in the Scottish Premiership, it's Aberdeen 0, Livingston 1. Scratch of the head from Guardiola, but with 2.5 minutes to go to half-time. That goal that they conceded might be niggling away at him, as Cancelo has just shown a yellow card. But going forward, they look a threat every single time.
Every time they go forward, but that, he will be disappointed about that goal, there's no doubt, because he doesn't want to see the team get sloppy and get slack and get casual on the ball and not do the fundamentals that a team needs to do. He doesn't want to see that creep into his performances.
Although we're 2 minutes away from half-time, there will be an additional 2 minutes. That has already been decided from the officials down below, as Watford, who 2 goals away from Manchester City as they trail 3-1 here. Back it goes, Sissoko, Camara, Toulouse, still De Bruyne, Grealish trying to press and put the Watford players under pressure and actually forcing Watford back, and then they give the ball away and De Bruyne hits it forward towards Grealish. That just comes down from the work rate from Manchester City, and then Foster hammers it away for Watford. Half-time in the Rugby League at Warrington. Dave Woods.
Warrington 18, Huddersfield 4. Warrington's third try scored by Toby King. Huddersfield have been second best. They've been down to 12 men for most of the half because double simbering for Jack Cogger, but a late try for them from Innis Senior to give them hope. Warrington 18, Huddersfield 4.
BBC Radio 5 Live, where Manchester City, the Premier League leaders, looking to move 4 points clear of Liverpool. The game in hand that Liverpool will have, you'll be able to hear with John Murray tomorrow from Anfield. 4:30, part of 5 Live's Premier League Sunday from midday. Chelsea West Ham before that at 2. The Merseyside derby gets underway at 4:30. And then we're back here at the Etihad on Tuesday. Manchester City against Real Madrid in the Champions League semi-final first leg, and then at Anfield on Wednesday for Liverpool against Villarreal, and West Ham on Thursday for the Europa League semi-final first leg as David Moyes' side take on Eintracht Frankfurt with news of Leipzig against Rangers. It's the Sky Blues at Manchester City though, with Laporte, centre circle, left side, headed away by Camara, not once but twice as he slides down the bank and almost ends up into the main stand as he dodges an advertising hoarding whilst he manoeuvres his way back out onto the pitch. Throw-in's already been taken. The Camara there with the interception. The Watford goal scorer. And he's done well to wriggle his way free, not once but twice. And he's a little bit annoyed there from the referee that he wasn't getting much support, as the ball has been won back by De Bruyne. Sliding in was Camara, couldn't stop De Bruyne, running at the heart of the Watford defence, out towards Sterling. Sterling comes back inside, this is Jesus, back towards Sterling. Sterling is stopped, he's still battling for the ball, back to his feet, and then Samir plays the ball away, taken on the chest by Sarr on that far side. If Sarr wanted to, it would have been 4 against 4, but he slowed down the attack on the halfway line, and Manchester City have got sufficient numbers back. Loser, though, will play the ball forward towards Sarr, who tries to head it on past Diaz, and Diaz is forced to concede the corner kick for Watford.
When they do break, Watford, they break a pace and they're difficult to play against, but the two centre-backs have to be really concentrated, Diaz and Laporte, because they don't have a lot to do in the game. Then it becomes difficult. You can ball watch, they have to stay concentrated because they do look dangerous on the break at times, Watford.
Loser waiting to take the corner kick, and it comes now. It's an in-swinger headed out by De Bruyne, headed further away by Sterling. Jesus tried to head his ball away from the penalty area. It was directed back. Watford have picked up on that, and Sarr, a wild effort inside right channel of the penalty area, and it goes high and wide and out for a goal kick. There's been a goal at London Road, Sahel Sahi.
And it's gone to Nottingham Forest. They lead Peterborough by a goal to nil. A lovely cross from the left-hand side, and Sam Surridge met it. If you remember Trevor Francis' goal in the 1979 European Cup final, it was exactly like that. And as it stands, Peterborough are going down back to League One. Peterborough United 0, Nottingham Forest 1.
Yeah, there was a chance, even if they were to win today, that they could have gone down if Reading were winning, but Reading are losing at Hull. But Peterborough losing means that they will join Barnsley and Derby in League One next season. And Nottingham Forest still have an outside chance of automatic promotion, let alone the playoffs from the Championship. At half-time here at the Etihad, Manchester City leading Watford by 3 goals to 1. Jonathan.
Yeah, well, Man City, it's been quite routine for times, especially when they went 2-0 up. Okay, Watford got back in the game, and Watford do look dangerous on the counter-attack. They had an opportunity as well where Manuel Dennis went through, Zinchenko got back, but then Watford scored to make it 2-1. Then Man City up the tempo again, got a third through Rodri. But it's a decent game. Watford are good on the counter-attack, and in transition they're a difficult team to play against, but they need to be have more conviction when they go through into them areas of the pitch.
2 goals from Jesus, a special strike from Rodri, camera in between for Watford. City have created other chances. Half-time at the Etihad, Manchester City 3, Watford 1.
Was a good strike from Rodri, but on Match of the Day tonight, you will want to see Joel Linton's first goal for Newcastle. What a finish, Will Perry.
Yeah, brilliant. Norwich 0, Newcastle 2 at half-time. Joe Linton with both goals on his 100th Premier League appearance, chappers. 10 minutes before the break, the one you're talking about, the ball fell to the Brazilian left side of the box, and he absolutely hammered it into the top right corner. Joe Linton playing in that front three today. We're used to seeing him play in the midfield three in recent weeks. He then had a tap in for number 2 6 minutes later. A volley wide from Murphy, though, at 0-0. A lovely Guimarães 30-yard ball. Newcastle unlucky not to be ahead early doors, and Dow wasting 2 good chances for the home side, who look like they're going to remain 8 points from safety with 5 to play. As it stands, Newcastle up tonight. Football's a funny thing, chappers, isn't it? Who would have thought that Newcastle would be 9th in the table as things stand? And Joel Linton, a cult hero up in Newcastle. Unbelievable.
Certainly is.
Newcastle too.
Jacob Brown has got his 14th of the season, and Stoke have taken the lead against QPR right on the stroke of half-time. Ipswich have gone ahead at Crewe. Crewe already relegated. Ipswich are in 11th. They haven't won in their last 4. Connor Chaplin's 11th of the season. The difference between the two sides there, and there's been a goal involving Oldham and Salford. 1-1 last time we were with Alistair Yeoman.
Second goal for Salford in stoppage time. Brandon Thomas Asante as the half-time whistle goes. A fine looping header, his 11th of the season, after Oldham had got back into it through a Davis Keller-Dunn penalty after Matt Smith had given Salford the lead. Salford going for the playoffs. They need Oldham in desperate trouble by 2 goals to 1.
2 quick goals in the Women's Super League. Brighton pulled one back at home to Birmingham, but the bottom side have scored, and that takes the difference back to 2 between the two sides. Brighton 1, Birmingham City 3, and there's just a couple of minutes to go in that game. Theo Archibald has scored for Richie Wellens as Leyton Orient, but they're 3-1 down at home to Northampton. Half-time at the King Power. Pat Murphy.
It's Leicester 0, Villa 0. Leicester making most of the running. Villa's back 4, not helping themselves, over elaborating, selling Martinez a keeper short with some pass backs, and Martinez not impressed at all. But the nearest Leicester got was a free kick from Manderson, 2 yards wide just before half-time, despite their pressure. Best chance at the other end to Bailey, Villas-Bailey. Great work from Watkins, squared it back 15 yards out on his favoured left foot over the bar, should have scored. Jamie Vardy on the subs bench awaits for Leicester. Leicester 0, Villa 0.
Leyton Orient are now 3 down again at home to Northampton. No sooner had they pulled one back than Northampton have got a fourth. Leyton Orient 1, Northampton 4. They started the day in fourth, did Northampton, 2 points behind Port Vale in third. Earlier in the championship finished Luton 1, Blackpool 1. The top two are meeting at the Vitality Stadium. Aaron Paul.
Yeah, Bournemouth 0, Fulham 0. Little to separate these two, and what is a real heavyweight contest at the top of the championship. We've had just the one shot on target. That came from Harry Wilson, who curled a clear corner in towards goal. It took a wicked deflection, but was palmed away by Mark Travers in the Cherries goal. Just the 16 fouls in this first half, Mark. Jadon Anthony thought he should have had a penalty at the end of the half. No, said the referee. Fiery atmosphere and a half-time. It is Bournemouth 0, Fulham 0.
Massive goal in the League One promotion and playoff race here. Chris Coles.
Massive goal for Rotherham, Mark, yes. Boy, did the home side need this. 1-1 with Oxford United. Rotherham have been nervy, conscious maybe their automatic promotion hopes are slipping away. But right on the stroke of half-time, Romani Edmonds Green up from the back, heading in an excellent cross to the back post. And the roar of relief from the home fans. You could hear it for miles. Oxford have been good. They took a 10th-minute lead. Own goal from Dan Barlaser following Sam Long's flashing cross. But as things stand, MK Dons leading against Morecambe. Rotherham still dropping out of the top two, albeit they have a very important game in hand this week. Rotherham 1, Oxford United 1.
Yeah, that's exactly it. MK Dons leading Morecambe by a goal to 0. So MK Dons would have 86 from 45. Rotherham 84 from 44. And if Oxford only get the point at Rotherham, as things stand, that would be their playoff hopes done for the season, because Sunderland are beating Cambridge 3-1, and also Cambridge are down to 10 men in that game. Portsmouth have scored right on the stroke of half-time at Fratton Park. Ronan Curtis has got that. He's got both this afternoon, 10 for the season, and that does affect the relegation picture because Gillingham are still in with a chance of going down, and it also affects whether Doncaster would go down today. Doncaster are winning 1-0. They would still have a chance mathematically of staying up, but the goal difference doesn't work in their favour. Let's go back to the Championship. Peterborough against Nottingham Forest. The home side could go down today. Sahel Sahi.
Yeah, and they are going down at present, Mark, but it was a quite beautiful headed goal from Sam Surridge right on half-time, which has given Nottingham Forest the lead at the break. It was simmering to that point, both sides looking to attack, but lacking that final piece of the jigsaw until that goal. Ricky J. Jones, he came close for Peterborough, denied by the legs of Bryce Samba, the Forest goalkeeper. And as it stands, Peterborough will be relegated back to League One this afternoon. Half-time here, Peterborough 0, Nottingham Forest 1.
It's the phrase that gets used more at this time of the year than at any other. As it stands. And as it stands, Sheffield United are still in a playoff spot. Maz Faruqi.
I don't know how, I won't use the word die, Mark, but 0-0 between Sheffield United and Cardiff. Let's just say this has been a really odd, flat performance at times from Sheffield United. They were perhaps lucky in the opening minutes not to concede. They built into the half a bit more as the game went on, and there were a couple of really good chances for Ben Osborne and Xander Berg, but the crowd are really muted. The biggest cheer of the afternoon has been for Billy Sharp when his name was read out before kick-off, with the captain back on the subs bench today. Remember, Sheffield United haven't won in 3 before today. On this performance so far, that run isn't changing anytime soon. Goalless here at Bramall Lane.
Yeah, the reason they are still in the playoff spot at the moment is because Millwall are being held at Birmingham. Martin Fisher.
And held rather easily here, Mark. Birmingham have been the better team. They've hit both posts through Gardner and Bakuna, and Friend has headed wide from 6 yards out. Just the one golden moment for Millwall. Wallace saw his drive, well saved by Etheridge. Hutchinson's follow-up beat the keeper, but Sunjic was there to head off the line. It's 0-0.
So the two sides above Middlesbrough both being held. They could take advantage
if they win at Swansea, but it's goalless there as well. Laura Kenyon.
It is indeed, and playoff chasing Borough have now gone 4.5 games without a goal. Duncan Watmore has come closest for them, threw on goal deep in the box, but opened up his body far too much, fired high and wide. Informed Swansea, well, they've played some lovely looking football in spells, chappers, but nothing clinical in front of goal. The travelling fans, they've been so loud. They've clearly not given up on those playoff dreams, but still 3 points adrift, and it's goalless at half-time.
Because Peterborough are losing at home to Nottingham Forest, Reading are safe for another season, but they're behind at half-time. Katie Smith.
They are at Hull City 1, Reading 0. A super bland start to this game. No shots on target until the 35-minute mark. Then 5 minutes after that, it was Hull's top scorer, Keane Lewis-Potter, released down the left-hand side, unleashing it high into the back of the net. So as you say, with Peterborough below them losing, Reading currently on to confirm their spot in the Championship next season, if this scoreline remains, or as it stands, if you will. Hull City 1, Reading 0.
Thank you very much. Elsewhere in the Championship, already relegated, Derby 0, Bristol City 2. Andreas Weiman's 20th of the season and Antoine Semenyo's 7th of the season. The difference between the two sides there. Stokely QPR, as I was saying, through Jacob Brown's 14th of the season on the stroke of half-time, and his goals at the Hawthorns between West Brom and Coventry. Right, into League One, leaders Wigan at home to playoff chasing Plymouth. Tom Gale.
0-0 at half-time, Mark. The hosts know a win seals promotion, and they'll be kicking themselves. Will Keane and Callum Lang, 37 league goals between the pair. Keane somehow shot over from 6 yards. Lang, one-on-one, pulled his strike into his wide. Then the wind almost guided Max Power's corner directly into the net. Plymouth yet to have a shot. Wigan 0, Plymouth 0.
Okay, let me give you some of the other scores in League One then. Plymouth, by the way, if they get a point, wouldn't necessarily be safe in the playoffs. Wickham could still catch them. And Sunderland are below them as well, but Sunderland have played only 44 compared to Plymouth's 45. But here are the other scores in League One. Accrington Stanley lead Lincoln by a goal to 0. It's goalless between Charlton and Shrewsbury, and Cheltenham and Bolton. Crewe 0, Ipswich 1. Doncaster lead Burton by a goal to, as I say, mathematically, that means they're still in League One at this stage, but the goal difference is way against them compared to Gillingham's. They're 15 worse off than Gillingham. Fleetwood 0, AFC Wimbledon 1, so that would really tighten it up at the bottom. MK Dons lead Morecambe by a goal to 0. That takes them into second in the table as it stands. Portsmouth 2, Gillingham 1. Rotherham 1, Oxford 1, Sunderland lead Cambridge by 3 goals to 1, so Sunderland go into the playoffs at Wickham's expense because Wickham are being held at home by Sheffield Wednesday. That game is goalless. Into League 2, leaders Forest Green Rovers at Bristol Rovers. Lawrence Herdman.
Bristol Rovers 0, Forest Green Rovers 0. It's an excellent contest, end-to-end, and chances at both ends. But as it stands, this scoreline would be good enough to see Forest Green promoted to League One. Bristol Rovers, though, they should have broken the deadlock on 4 minutes. Anthony Evans shooting wide from just 6 yards out. It looked easier to score. Straight down the other end, Regan Hendry's well-placed shot for Forest Green, headed off the line by James Connolly. Boo Adams has seen a shot by James Belshaw, well saved as well for Forest Green. Big crowd here urging Bristol Rovers on. They too desperate to win to keep up the push for top 3. Bristol Rovers 0, Forest Green Rovers 0.
Exeter could get promoted today if they win and lots of other results go their way. Those lots of other results aren't going their way, but they are winning. Hamish Marshall.
Yeah, they're beating Rochdale by a goal to 0. One step towards promotion for the Grecians, but as you say, it's unlikely the journey is going to be completed today. The goal came 34 minutes. Tim Dieng on the end of a cross on the right-hand side, poking it home from 6 yards. One of a string of chances created by the Grecians as the half went on. Rochdale had started well. They twice went close, but they faded as the half went on.
Oldham could go down today. As things stand, they aren't, because Barrow are drawing, but it's looking bleak, Alice Yeomans.
Yes, they fought hard here. They got back into the game, and Davis Keller done penalty after Matt Smith had given Salford the lead, but heartbreakingly for them just before half-time, in stoppage time indeed. Brandon Thomas Asante, who's looked very bright, a fine header at the far post for Salford. Half-time, Oldham 1, Salford 2.
So Barrow are drawing. They're 0-0 at home to Sutton, so that doesn't relegate Oldham today. Bradford lead already relegated Scunthorpe 2-1. Harrogate 2, Carlisle 0. Hartlepool 0. Swindon won. That would still give Swindon a playoff chance. They'd be 3 points off the playoff spots with 3 games to play. Leyton Orient won, Northampton 4. As things stand, they'd be level on points with Port Vale in the race for automatic promotion. 2 games left for both sides, but Port Vale will be in that automatic promotion spot on goal difference. They're currently drawing 0-0 at Walsall. Mansfield lead Crawley by a 0-0, so they're in the playoff spots as things stand. And Stevenage lead Tranmere by a 0-0, which would drop Tranmere to 9th and outside the playoff spot. In the National League this afternoon, Altrincham 1, Wealdstone 0, Borehamwood 1, Bromley 0, Chesterfield 1, Dover 1, Dagenham and Redbridge 0, Kings Lynn 1, Eastleigh 1, Barnet 0, Grimsby 1, Torquay 1, Notts County 2, Weymouth 0, Solihull Moors 1, Aldershot 0, Southend 1, Halifax 0, and Yeovil are leading the leaders Stockport by a 0-0, which would mean if Wrexham won the 5:20 game at Woking, they would move to within 4 points of the leaders, having played the same number of games. The final whistle's gone in the Women's Super League. It's finished Brighton 1, bottom of the table, Birmingham 3. In the Scottish Premiership earlier, Rangers closed the gap on Celtic to 3 points. They beat Motherwell 3-1. Elsewhere, Aberdeen 0, Livingston 1. The battle of the bottom 2 sees Dundee lead St Johnstone by a 0-0. It's goalless between St Mirren and Hibs. In the Championship, Hamilton 0, Wraith 1, Morton 0, Inverness 1, Partick 1, Dunfermline 0, Queen of the South 0, Ayr 0. In League 1 in Scotland, Clyde 0, Airdrieonians 1, Cove Rangers 0, Dumbarton 0, Falkirk 0, Alloa 1, Montrose 0, Queen's Park 1, and Peterhead 1, East Fife 0. And in League 2, Albion Rovers 0, Stirling 1, Elgin 0, Cowdenbeath 0. Kelty Hearts 1, Forfar 0, Stenhousemuir 0, Stranraer 2. Into the Gallagher Premiership, it's Harlequins against Leicester this afternoon. Eleanor Roper.
Yeah, an uncomfortable end to the first half for Harlequins. They were very much on the defence, but after a brilliant start, the hosts clung on and they lead at the break. 15-12 the score. It's half-time here at the Stoop.
Bath lead Northampton 17-7 at half-time. Wasps are 15-0 up on Worcester Warriors. In the United Rugby Championship earlier, Bulls beat Benetton 46-29. Half-time, Dragons 7, Scarlets 17, and Lions 8, Connaught 14. Jamie Broughton at the World Snooker.
Ronnie O'Sullivan is through to the quarter-finals here. The 6-time champion resumed 12-4 up against Mark Allen this afternoon, and he quickly won the opening frame to wrap up victory. O'Sullivan now takes on Stephen Maguire in the last 8. Maguire beat Zhao Xingtong 13-9.
Thank you very much. You can follow the snooker on BBC Television and on the BBC Sport website. Back for the second half at the Etihad. Manchester City against Watford. Ian Dennis.
Thanks, Mark. Manchester City leading by 3-1. The City players are already out there.